Cricbuzz Comm Box for the men in blue, and I have to keep repeating that because it's a new look Bangalore side, and the new look is certainly not suiting them. It's a wonderful gesture, the reason why they're wearing it, but in terms of results, at the end of 10 overs, things not looking good for Virat Kohli's men. Just a reminder before we chat with Harsha Bhogle on the first 10 overs, 54 for 4. The power play, in a sense, was not a runaway power play, but was acceptable. But since then, over 7 to 10 has been a clear victory for the men in purple. Andre Russell, not just 2 for 7, but one of those 2 wickets, a golden duck for AB de Villiers. Harsha, let's start with that. You know, we talk so much about matchups, AB de Villiers versus Russell. Russell himself, not the kind of delivery he necessarily get him with. But what a turnaround, just that one ball.
The matchup was saying AB de Villiers comes in to bat, send Russell off for a nature break for as long as AB de Villiers is batting. The matchup was so skewed towards AB. But I think I'm watching Russell after a while. Because of the time difference, I couldn't watch a lot of the CPL. I'm watching Russell after a while. And if Russell is going to bowl like this, then hang on, you're looking at a different Kolkata. So I might be jumping the gun a little bit. We've only seen 2 overs. But if he can deliver with this pace consistently 4 overs, then suddenly that changes the dynamics of the side. I thought he was a big plus. Sunil Narayan with his catapult action is looking really good. So at the moment, they've got a lot of key overs left. They've got 3 from Chakravarti left, and there isn't a bowler at the moment that you have to hide. But I'm going to go a little out on a limb and say, wow, Prasidh Krishna. I mean, Andre Russell's bowled fantastic. Sunil Narayan's bowled well. Lockie is always going to be there. Just one of a fantastic production line of New Zealand quick bowlers. But Prasidh Krishna, I mean, he had a very unusual second over. But I thought just getting that breakthrough, there's something very, very promising about him.
Yeah, he got away with that. But yeah, just to stay on Russell for a moment, it was, in fact, something he was delivering, a lot of pace. He was putting his back into it. And the only reason his side didn't do well is because they just had nothing in the batting department to support them. But he was constantly coming and bending his back. So that could augur well for the men in purple, who are more desperate for the points right now than Bangalore.
Yeah, I just worry because I said that about Pollard yesterday, but Russell just looks bigger and bigger. And if he's banging that front foot down, as was mentioned in commentary, but if he's putting that front foot down with that load, I don't want to be his knee. I mean, if you know, when we were in school, we had to write essays on being a pencil, being a chair, being whatever, being Russell's knee. I wouldn't want to be Russell's knee if he's going to be banging it with the kind of weight or muscle that he's carrying. But fantastic. I mean, Russell's bowling like that, it just changes the side. And that's what you pay the big bucks for.
Yeah, I suspect it was our friend Alan Wilkins who was talking about knees. He knows a thing or two about that on commentary. But
he knows a thing of plenty.
But there's some numbers that suggest that when AB de Villiers scores 10 or less, Bangalore lose more, tend to lose. 29 out of 40, I believe, is the number, something along those lines. Is there anything along those lines to read into? And I suspect if we add Virat to that list, the number will get even more.
It must be worrisome. I don't know what Virat's thinking about, but purely from that point of view, as without taking sides in this game, would have been good to see Virat getting runs. But remember those 5 matches that they won, AB has played a huge role in 3 of those. So now really it's Maxwell saying, I'll carry the side home. What a setting for Hasaranga to make his first appearance and show the value that he can bring to the side. So there's still a bit of batting left. Jamieson can bat. But I think at this stage, 58 for 4 coming to the end of the 11th over, you're looking more Kolkata. So, I mean, much like yesterday, they want one of them to go and do what Ruturaj did and get to 150, 160 from here. Now, we're talking 160. That's 100 in the last 9 overs.
But I think on the other side of the coin, whoever will look at the scorecard from Kolkata's point of view, sitting on the bench, will say, yes, Hasaranga's come in. It's playing his first game. Jamieson plays a certain way. The plan would be to use a lot of Sunil Narayan and Varun Chakravarti in the back end against players who may not quite relish that.
Look, if you look down the scorecard at the moment, what are we seeing? Prasidh Krishna 3 overs, Lockie Ferguson 3 overs, only 1 each going into the back 9 and 2 from Russell. That's 4. So you have no choice but to go 3 Varun Chakravarti, 2 Sunil Narayan at the back. And that's a big call. It's a very interesting captaincy call, and I'd love to see how it plays out.
Yeah, well, that's what we're seeing right now. Quick one, Harsha. Let me put you on the spot. Never mind our predictions. At this stage, what would you say is the score that Bangalore are looking at?
135, 140. If they can get there, even that's 80 of the last 9. If they lose wickets going for it, might be tough. So Maxwell holds the key. If they can get to 140, 145, then we'll see how they go.
Yeah. Safe to say that little window is not going to be reached as far as we're concerned unless something out of the box happens. Thank you, Harsha.
Which Maxwell can do.
Which Maxwell can do. And so can Hasaranga and Kyle Jamieson. But Kolkata are looking like they might have other ideas. It's all the men in purple at the moment, but things can change as we saw yesterday. 44 for 4 turned into a very decent 156. We'll see you at the end. This was Cricbuzz Comm Box.